I'm Antony Ward. I'm known online as AntCGI. Well, I started back in 1994, many years ago, and I'm primarily a game developer. So that's sort of my main career. But I sort of started in 1994, and I worked in various game studios up until 2007, and then I went freelance. And that allowed me to branch out into other areas and sort of experiment with other genres as well. So I've done work, rather than just doing 3D work for video games, I've also done more high-end work for TV shows and film. Well, the TV shows, there's a children's BBC show called Wolf Blood. I rigged the wolves used on that. Another children's TV show was Abney and Teal. I think it's still quite big in the UK. I did some rigging on that as well.
How was it that you got interested in video games?
I've always been interested since I was a little kid. My parents bought me my first computer, which was a Spectrum 48K, I think it was back then, sometime in the 80s. They also got me an art package. I can't remember the name of it on the Spectrum, but I sort of went from the Spectrum, and my parents then got me an Amiga, and on that I used Deluxe Paint. And so from there, really, I just got into digital art, and I was always interested in computer games. So I guess I've got my parents to thank for that. Well, I don't know. What I did was I sort of went to college while I was using the computers, but back then there wasn't any computer game courses. So I originally wanted to be a graphic designer, but then I wanted to be an architect. But I really loved using computers, so I actually ended up dropping out of college. But luckily enough, my mum spotted an advert in a local paper for a computer game company that was opening up not far from where we lived, probably about a 45-minute drive in a place called...
In Leeds?
No, this was in Chesterfield, because
okay.
I'm originally from Sheffield.
Okay.
So this was in Chesterfield, and during the time between me dropping out of college and applying for this job, I'd been spending lots of my spare time just creating artwork on the Amiga, sort of making up my own video game ideas. Obviously, I didn't animate them or anything like that, but it was just like the screenshots. Sent all that off, went for an interview, and I got the job. And then I ended up working there for, I don't know, quite a long time, 5 years, maybe a bit longer. And then from there, I went on to my next studio, and and so on and so on and so on. So just sort of went from there, really. I would say that it's good to be more of a generalist rather than focusing on purely one area. Particularly if you're thinking of working in video games but then going freelance eventually at some point, like I am now. I find that because I can do a little bit of everything, it means I've got more options when it comes to contracts and work. Whereas if I could only do one particular thing, it would really narrow down sort of what I could potentially do. But if anybody is thinking of going freelance, I would say that you really have to go and work in a studio for as long as you can before you go freelance, because you learn so much while you're there that's really valuable that you don't get taught sort of in colleges or universities. So then when you go freelance, your clients have got more confidence in you because you've been there and done that, and you know exactly the process. So that's probably the advice I'd give. While I'm here at Us by Night. So what I like to do is I take a photograph and I don't directly copy it. I don't like doing straight copies. I like more sort of surreal looking art, and I like artwork where people will look at it and they'll sort of do a double take and say, well, that looks a bit odd. It's like one of the main questions I get is, why is the neck so long?
Yes.
Why are the eyes so big?
Yes.
But I quite like that reaction. A lot of people don't like it, but then a lot of people do, and I think it's nice to have any reaction, But at the moment, I'm pushing myself to get better at this.
Yes.
And then I want to get to a stage where I can do them without using a reference photo.
Yes.
And then once I'm comfortable doing that, then I'll probably push myself to doing, maybe full bodies, or maybe doing something completely different, like environments or vehicles or something like that. I think for me, I just need to build up that confidence, really. Well, this is my first sort of official Wacom festival.
Yes.
But I've been working alongside Wacom for a long time now. Mainly in sort of respect that they would send me devices, I would test them out and I'd review them, and then return them. Because I have quite a lot of people that follow me online, so I get asked questions all the time about sort of various devices. At the moment, I'm using the Mobile Studio Pro, the 16-inch one. That's what I do all my painting on at the moment. And if I have to use ZBrush, I use that on that as well.
Yes.
But my main device is still a 27QHD. I use that more as a monitor because I use Maya a lot, so I have to use a keyboard.
Yeah.
But that's quite nice because I've got it on sort of one of the Ergotron arms. So if I'd want to then pull it down and paint on it, I could just drop it down, paint on it, or sculpt on it and then lift it up. But to be honest, I much prefer the Mobile Studio Pro than actually working on that, even though that's bigger, because it just feels so nice to use. I think if you can afford it, I would always go for one with a display in, but they can be quite expensive, especially if you're a student.
Yeah.
So maybe just try with one of the, is it the Intuos or the Bamboos? The smaller ones. I mean, I know you're still drawing on a tablet and looking at a separate screen, but it'll get you used to sort of using a pen, get used to sort of the pressure settings and things like that. And then hopefully later on, as you progress,